Hello and happy spooky season to all. We made it. What a fun time of year this is, huh? October. Some say the best part of the year. I might say that. I love pumpkin stuff. Ooh, yeah. Oh, I'm going to get myself I'll do that when I do my intro music. I'm going to crack a Shipyard pumpkin head. I just bought some of those today. Good idea. And I'll just be sucking down some Shipyard Pumpkinhead while recording the podcast, and you'll just hear it. You'll just hear it go down my throat like ASMR. Football is happening. The weather's cooling down a bit. The leaves are changing colors in some places even. I mean, it's the best part of the year! Maybe in November. Honestly, in November is kind of up there. But God, don't we just have the best holiday this month? This is Halloween. This is Halloween. What are y'all going to be? I'm thinking about being a sheep. Maybe like make a sheep costume. Maybe with some cotton or something. I don't want it to look like I just got out of a bubble bath, though. I will figure it out. We'll figure it out by episode's end. The sheep episode. Episode 44. Huh. Well, folks, this following podcast contains lasers that may trigger seizures in photosensitive viewers. Viewer discretion is advised. This is Laser Show.
Pump up the volume, pump up the volume, pump up the volume, dance, dance.
Good day, good morrow, Laserheads. Welcome to episode 44. Of Laser Show. I am your host, Gucci Greatness, the Fabergé Fiend, Dr. Drip, Guac Daddy, 3-time Employee of the Week, 1-time Employee of the Month, second alderman of the 3rd Ward of Cass County, Missouri, Ryan O'Flanagan. I think part of that intro just has to be me messing up that alderman line every time. I just can't say it. Oh, but I'm drinking a Shipyard Pumpkinhead. Hey, cheers, everyone. Cheers. If you're out there, if you have a drink, cheers. If you're listening to this while you're driving in the car, I hope you're drinking. It makes the drive go by faster and certainly tastier. Shipyard Pumpkinhead is my absolute favorite. God, that's delish. Nobody likes it. Shipyard Pumpkinhead. I remember discovering Shipyard Pumpkinhead in college and absolutely just losing shit out of my ass. Remember my roommate brought it home one time. Shout out Larry or Ben. I forget which one of you brought it home. But God, I thought it was just simply so delicious. And it's a pumpkin beer. I don't like pumpkin beer generally. Just give me a beer. Even Shipyard, which is the best, I can only have like one or two, and then I'm like, okay, give me a real beer, though. I'm not trying to do pumpkin spice, but it's so delicious for just one. It's my favorite beer to drink just one. Yeah, chocolate ice cream and chocolate cake is technically, yes, it is my favorite food. But it's my favorite food to eat just one little serving of it. I'm going to go back. Oh, I want more chocolate cake and chocolate ice cream. I mean, do I? A little bit, but mostly just not really. But God, that brief moment. And believe me, in this episode, we're going to talk about some chocolate. I just went to the most extravagant wedding I've ever been to in my life. And I have pictures and videos of well, let's just say some chocolate. I shit my bed. I just got back from the East Coast at a few shows and a wedding. It's been a crazy month. I have not recorded an episode since August 27th was episode 43. And now episode 44, the Obama episode. Hope. When I see the number 44, I always think of Craig Kennedy. Do you guys think of that? Craig Kennedy was, of course, on my high school football team, our star running back, and our punter. He went to the Ray Guy punting camp. which is a punting. It's the most renowned punting camp in the country, and Craig could bomb some punts. He rarely did, but he could. When he hit one good, they went flying, and about one of every 10 went well. But hey, and Seekonk Warriors football, we'll take that. We were not a good team, and we had a couple good players, and anyone who could do anything that was like athletic or like kind of big at all, they played every down of both sides. They never got a break, and Craig was one of those people, and he punted. Craig was our running back. He was weirdly jacked for like a child. He's like a jacked fucking 15-year-old playing varsity. Why was he so jacked? He was built like a Greek god, and he was Jewish. He's the most jacked Jewish guy to this day I've ever met. And he's like 6 feet tall and just fucking shredded for some reason. And the nicest guy in the world. We were buds. We used to go hang out. We used to play video games. We used to hang out. He was one of my best friends, this Craig. Don't talk to him much anymore, but Craig, if you're listening, buddy, I think he's got kids now. Hey, congrats on those kids, and I hope you're still jacked. I'm pretty sure he's still jacked. I feel like I was looking at his Facebook recently. Yep, still jacked. He's one of those guys you're just born jacked. I don't know what happened. A Jew! Oh, God bless you. But anyway, Craig obviously scored the winning touchdown against Dighton Rehoboth, my final football game. In New England, and I've learned this isn't a thing everywhere, but in New England, on Thanksgiving Day, you play your rival in football. And so that's your whole, you do it in the morning. And the weather's always shitty. It'll be like snowy or rainy. And then you just go, then you have your Thanksgiving, and you put on the news, and they show all the scores from all the games, and it's like, they'll show like video of like the game that you played. And that doesn't happen. You'll see your school sometimes on the news. They'll be like, and this touchdown scored by Craig Kennedy, and it was in Seekonk beats Dighton Rehoboth 6-0. And that was our first time beating our rival Dighton Rehoboth in 18 years. And it was at home on Seekonk Warrior Field. I don't know what the name of the field was. I think it was named after a guy, but I forget. And we beat Dighton Rehoboth in the snow 6-0 on Craig Kennedy's fourth quarter 1-yard touchdown run. And then Dighton Rehoboth just couldn't. They didn't have enough time to score. And when the clock hit 0, you're damn right we stormed the field. And by we, I mean just the players. No one from the crowd came. But we dumped Gatorade on Coach Morgado, who hated me. But everyone else was busy celebrating, so me and Ray Chan. Yeah, we had an Asian guy on our football team. That's what our football team was like. We had an Asian kid who was about 5'3", and he was our kick returner. He was shifty, Ray Chan. One time, me and Ray Chan made a great play together where we were getting fucking this kid in JV. He broke a big run against us, and he was running towards the end zone like a fucking 70-yard run. And then me and Ray Chan were there. Don't stop playing till the whistle. So me and Ray Chan were chasing after him all the way down the field. Ray is so fast, little Asian boy who could flip his eyelids inside out and leave him like that. You ever see people do that? Ray Chan could do that. He wasn't doing it on this play, but just a little fact about Ray Chan to give you a little backstory on Ray Chan. Ray Chan caught up to him. Boom! Punches the ball out. Peanut style. Charles Tillman style. Boom! Guy fumbles the ball at like the 5-yard line. I'm also there. I pick the ball up, and I start running the ball all the way back. And I made it back to like a very far. People were going nuts, but I didn't score. I made it to like the 50. So it was like the end of the half too. It was like all for nothing. But boy was I tired. But anyway, people started calling that play the O-Chan again. Anyhow, me and Ray Chan, we dumped Gatorade on Coach Morgado, and he didn't care for it. He didn't like us. He called me stupid once, like loudly at a game in front of everyone. Oh, Flanagan, are you stupid? Because I was only playing 15 yards back on like a clear Hail Mary play. He wanted me to go like 50 yards back. But I'm like, I'm pretty far back, dude. I'm not a great tackler, so at least let me try to cover a guy. Maybe I can make a pick or something. They're not going to throw a Hail Mary. We're all fucking 14 years old. Coach. Bitch. I hope he hasn't had success. But that is certainly not what I wanted to talk about. But Ray Chan, I know you're listening to this, buddy, wherever you are. And I hope wherever you are, your eyelids are facing the right way, man. Just keep your eyes moist, buddy. It was a fun trick, but just keep your eyelids on right. Me myself, I'm doing fine. I had a wild couple of weeks. I went to Vegas. I went to Las Vegas for a fake bachelorette party, which is fine. You can just do that. You can honestly go to Vegas whenever you want, and God, do I love Vegas. It's so bad for me. It's so bad for I lost so much money. I just couldn't win money to save my life, and I banked financially on winning a bunch of money this trip. I was counting on that to happen for my life. And I felt really good about it. I thought to myself, every time I go to Vegas, I lose money. Like I'm due for a Vegas trip where I win money. I've never once had that. Not even close. Gambling alone. And then just all the stuff you buy. Oh my God, how many drinks you buy and the food you buy and the events you go to. Vegas costs like $2,000 and it's just a 4-hour trip from LA. Easy peasy. It's an easy trip. You can go to one of the coolest cities in the world, easy peasy. You can drive there. And hotels, not even that expensive. You can get my hotel was like $90 a night. Not crazy at all. Even with all that, you lose $2,000-$3,000 if you're not careful, and I wasn't. I lost everything. Every game I bet on, I lost. Every slot machine, I was never up at any point. I guess I played blackjack a little bit, and I was up like $20 or $30 maybe at one point for 40 seconds. And then I lost that, and I lost everything else. Until the very last day, I will say, me and my buddy Mark went just to roulette. And we put everything we had left cash-wise on black. This was the final night. Mark kept calling it Scorched Earth. Scorched Earth, dude. Put what we got. For me, I think it was $18. And that is not from what I came with. The money that I came with to spend, I spent all of that immediately. And so I went to the ATM a bunch of times. And one of the final times, what I had left from that was $18, and I put it on black. Mark had like 50, something like that. Put it on black. It hit. We let it ride. It hits again. We let it ride again. And we're let it ride it's not technically what was happening. We just played black again, but the same amount. We didn't let it ride. We didn't take our winnings and also put that on black. We would take our winnings and keep them and then make the same bet, is what I mean. Is that letting it ride? Not really, no. But we kept betting on black, and it hit like 4 times in a row. So we quadrupled what we came in with. If we were letting it ride, that would have been like 16 times what we came in with. But I ended up, and then we lost one. And then, so I ended up on that little thing making like 60 something bucks. And that was if you're going to win $60 on a game, it's probably like 60 something bucks. And if you're going to lose every other game, every slot, craps, blackjack, roulette, sports, a bunch of football games, every single bet you lose, except one time you go to a table and you walk away a winner, you want that to be the very last table of the whole trip. And that's what happened. So I remember the trip fondly. I don't remember much of the trip at all, to be honest with you. I will say, if you're in Vegas and you like sports, go to the Circa. The Circa was built in 2021. It's like the newest building It's in Vegas. I don't know if that's true, but it is in. It's on Fremont Street downtown, and it is like a sports-based casino. They have the biggest sports book in the world, I believe, or at least in the country. And I learned about it from this sports podcast I listen to. They do like a show there every Friday, and they have like a podcast studio there that you can see people doing podcasts, sports podcasts, while you're at the sports book, which is the biggest screen I've ever seen in my life. They it's just like arena seating and a huge screen playing a bunch of sports, and it's super bright. And there's the main screen playing the biggest event of the day, Fox's Game of the Week, perhaps. America's Game of the Week on Fox. And then there's a bunch of other screens around it that are playing different games. And those screens are the size of like an IMAX. That's how fucking big this screen is. And also, you may be familiar with their more famous feature at the Circa, which is the Circa pool. And the pool at Circa is like a sportsbook pool. And it's this, again, stadium style, but pools and hot tubs. A few different pools that you can go. You can go to different pools. And there's just the same thing. Big screen playing a bunch of sports. And it's massive. Probably about the same size. I don't know. No, maybe not as big. Or maybe bigger. It's outside. I don't know. I've been to both and I don't know. Because both times they were so big, I couldn't begin to measure. And you're not going to believe this, but I was drunk. But we watched some football there. I cannot recommend that enough. We did the only seats we could get because it was packed. We got like second row. So we are just staring straight up at bright LED football. It was a lot, even for me. You can't imagine what the girls were going through. Oh boy. That certainly couldn't have been any fun for the girls. Girls don't understand sports, of course. Certainly not football. And that was 100% not the event they wanted to go to. I led this charge. We had done a lot of stuff all weekend, okay? We went to a darts bar. We went to so it was like a fake bachelor bachelorette, and the girls did like one night by themselves, and the guys did one night by themselves, and then we did a night together. And the boys night we went to Topgolf, and then Topgolf, the power was out at Topgolf. The power was out at Topgolf. Have you ever thought that could ever be a problem in anyone's life? The power is out. The boys are texting, "Hey, don't come. The power is out." I go, "The power is out." I was proper flabbergasted. But then went to a darts bar, and that was fun. And anything else to report? Not really. It was a fun trip. I stayed up really late every night and didn't sleep much and just had the most fun I could possibly have. But it took me days to recover. And as soon as I got back, 2 days after I got back, I had to head out to this little East Coast trip. Just a few days on the East Coast. My friend Tom, you might know Tom. I've mentioned Tom on this. Oh, you know what? Tom, if you're a loyal listener of Laser Show, if you're a true Laserhead, man, early episode, hanging out with Tom in Stamford, Connecticut, and poor guy tried to get a girl's information, and she gave him her number, I think, and then she just never responded to his text. Well, you missed out, bitch. Tom used to fall in love so much. He has such a good heart, and he doesn't go, "Ooh, look at that babe, that girl's." He goes, "I'm in love. I met someone, and I'm in love. She's perfect, and I'm in love." It was, however, everyone, and none of them ever loved him back, and none of the girls ever loved Tom back, because frankly, he didn't deserve it. He has a rotten heart. Rotten heart, Tom. But Tom finally found love. Someone finally loved Tom back, and it's a wonderful. And I'm glad all the others said no. Even Rose Trimboli. He finally got one to say yes, and it was the best of all of them. She's the coolest. So, hey, if you're out there getting rejected left and right, fellas, if you're listening to this podcast, let's be honest, you're a fucking loser. If you're getting rejected left and right, maybe it's for a reason, eh, folks? Because Tom found Angela. And boy, so that was on October 4th. 10-4. 10-4, good man. So I booked a couple shows around that while I'm going to be on the East Coast. Just to make a little money while I'm on the East Coast, help pay for this trip. Lord knows, weddings, they ain't cheap. They ain't cheap to host. They ain't cheap to go to. It's expensive for everybody except the wedding venue. They make a lot of money. They love weddings. The rest of us could probably do without, eh, folks? But I was able to book a couple shows a year ago, less than a year ago, October 17th, 2024. You might remember, I forget what show it was. I mean, what tour I called it. But a year ago, I did a show in Waverly, New York, and it was fucking awesome. It was packed to the gills on a Thursday night, and it was just like fucking wall to wall. People were seated and having a great time. And I'd had a great set and had a really fun night after. Went out on the town with the guy who runs it, Jason, and a couple other people that work there. Just a really fun, wild night. Very good memories. Long, drunken, fun night. And he's been saying ever since then, we got to get you back to Waverly. And I'm thinking, I don't need to go back. I don't know. How often do I have to go to Waverly? It's like really far from everything. I think the closest city is like Rochester, New York, maybe? I don't know. It seems really far from like everything. It's out in the boonies, little town. And I'm like, yeah, I don't know. Maybe every like couple of years I can come back. I don't have a whole lot of new material that I'm doing. So it'd be like a lot of the same jokes. But I said, I don't know, maybe. He wanted to get me back like a couple months later. I was like, no, dude, I haven't written a single joke. What are you talking about? But then this wedding came up, and so I reached out and I said, hey, man, I'm going to be in the New York area. Maybe we can do October. He said, okay, perfect. Let's work it out. Thursday, October 2nd, let's do it. So, we're off. I'm 2 days rested from Vegas. I still got Vegas voice. I still got Vegas ass gaping. I fly into JFK. I take a red eye. You guys know me. Laserheads, ooh-wee, do you know me? I love a red eye. And then just driving far right after the red eye. Just pummeling my body. I take a red eye into JFK Airport. Not the person. Not the casket. I fly into JFK Airport, and I rent a car to drive to Waverly, New York, which is about a 5-hour drive, after a total and complete red eye, where the girl next to me, who was in her 30s, was watching SpongeBob SquarePants through the entire night. She slept through a lot of it. She put SpongeBob on and then went to sleep. She put on the brightest show that's ever been created. This bright yellow character in a fanciful, bright underwater world living in a pineapple. And cranked it up to full brightness and went to sleep. Bless her. Her and her boyfriend. I sat in the window and I tried to sleep and couldn't. I was just having horrible, horrible night terrors of SpongeBob. Oh, do you guys hear that? Shipyard Pumpkinhead, hold on. It's like cinnamony, nutmeggy pumpkin. And I don't like pumpkin beer really at all. But I do love Shipyard, man. Because they add a little cinnamon to it. Anyway, so I'm driving. And you won't believe how stupid I am, folks. If you're a listener of this podcast, you might remember last time I rented a car, which was 2 months ago, for my little Colorado run. The car that I rented had nothing but USB-C ports, and I couldn't believe it. This technology, you got to ease us into that technology, folks. You got to have USB ports next to USB-C ports so people can start to transition. Oh, they have both of these. Okay, I can see in my head now they're starting to transition into USB-C. But I'm glad they have both, because all I have is a USB charger. So I had to go to Walmart and buy a 10-foot USB-C to lightning cable charger that's the thickness of a Twizzler, about a red vine. We decided, and I had to use that the whole trip. So now I just have that in my apartment. And guess what I decided to not bring? Because I thought, I don't like this fucking cable that I have from that is so big. It's huge. It's like a fucking extension cord. And I literally wrote down in my little packing list, I have a packing list of things to bring when I go places, and I wrote on it, bring the USB-C cord. And I looked at it when I was packing for this trip, and I thought, nah, I don't want to. I hate it. It's so big, and there's no way that I'm going to get another car that has only USB-C ports. There's no way. That was a 1 in a million thing. They're not possibly all new cars are doing that now. That must have just been a fluke, like super new car. That must have been like a 2026 that I was driving or something. Because that was crazy. You can't just have USB-C ports. I've never seen that before, and I rent cars several times a year. And they always have a USB port. But guess what, folks? Nope. We are headed in that direction. Cars now only have USB-C ports. So I rented a Volkswagen Jetta, and I get in, and I thought, you fucking fool. You arrogant clown. To look at the packing list and say, you know what? I'm not going to bring the USB-C adapter that I just bought, and it was like $40. And I wrote down to remember to bring it, and I thought, there's no way I'm going to need it again. And this goddamn Jetta only had USB-C ports, so I had to go again to Target and buy a new USB-C to lightning cable, even though I had just bought one last month because of this very thing. And not only that, I decided to not bring it. And you know what I just learned today? You know what I just realized today before recording this podcast? As I went to put my new USB-C to lightning cable in my bag of cables that I have in my junk drawer in my kitchen, you know what I learned? I already have 2 USB-C to lightning cables to my name. I already had 2 of them that I didn't even realize I had. If I ever saw that, I'd be like, when would you ever need that? USB-C to lightning? You want to plug your phone into your Oculus? Like, what am I going to use that for? And that's happened to me twice. And now, after this debacle, now 4 times. I have 4 of these cables now. If anyone needs a USB-C to lightning cable, I have 4 of them. And one of them is huge. It's about the thickness of a red vine, if you can imagine that. So I got to go to fucking Target, which, granted, the cable they gave me was much better. It was 1 meter long, and it had a thin cable. It was easy. I liked it. I was really worried I was going to have to get another 10-foot. What is Walmart's problem? They only had a fucking extension cable length and size and thickness. What the hell? I go to Target. It's so easy. 1 meter. It's like $20. So I bought it. I bought it in Queens, at a place called Queen's Place, I believe it was called. Queen's Place, and it was like a little shopping center. And I think that was my first time ever like being in Queens, I think, which is cool. That's where my dad grew up. Shithole. No, it was fine. It was cool. I find New York very fascinating. It's also weird that when you drive from JFK, the airport, not the casket, to Waverly, New York, which is like 5 hours away, you still have to drive all the way through like Manhattan. There's no way around just the biggest city in the country. Is there any way we can avoid driving through like Brooklyn, Manhattan, Queens? Is there a way to not drive straight through all of that? There's no other highways? Is that really the fastest way to get from New York City to Waverly, is to go through all of New York City? There's no highway that goes up a bit and then over? Because I hate driving through New York City. Oh my God. What a horrible time. What horrible people behind the wheel. Wonderful people in real life. But I will say it is cool. It's a novel thing. I've never lived there in New York, and I never would. It's too late for me. The time to move to New York, I saw a bunch of friends at the wedding asking me, would you ever move to New York? And I feel like the time has passed for that. I'm 37. You got to move to New York in your 20s. If you're from the East Coast. If you're not from near there, then you can go at any time. But like, I don't know. At that point, it's quite a route to go from Massachusetts to L.A. to New York, and it lost like the romanticness of it. It'd be kind of sad. I'd be like middle-aged going to like this place of wonder. Like I'm not at a place in my life of wonder. That's not true. But New York is I think it is really cool. I do love to just see it, and the culture is just like there's people in the street like playing like a racket thing, just like this two like 13-year-old, like a boy and a girl 14, just in the street with these like badminton rackets. They're just like hitting a thing back and forth. You don't get that in LA. You know, you get in LA poop. You get poop on the sidewalk. And 361 days of sunshine. But New York, especially in October, I mean, that's a cool time to be in New York. I walked around Brooklyn a little bit, and a lot of people are. It's like a heavy neighborhood that's like very Halloween decoration, Christmas decoration town. Diker Beach. Diker Island? Diker Beach? It's not an island. Why did I think island? But man, I love just a crisp autumn air. New York City. People's front stoops are decorated with Halloween shit. I'll post. Yeah, I took a video. But just driving through Manhattan, there's got to be a better way. And then I get to and I just want to eat. I stop at a McDonald's in Chester, New York. Once I got through the city, then you're just like cruising through like Western New York. Man, oh man. There is some foliage out there. They have got some leaves out there. What lush country. I mean, if I were a dinosaur for my... Oh, hey, by the way, new Overly Excited Tourist season starts next week. October 14th, if you're a fan of the Overly Excited Tourist, season 3 starts next week. We got dinosaurs. We got joke in my ass. We got get out of my ass. Get in my ass. Holy Snopes. We gotta go. Hi, honey. 100 Feet Big. I mean, the hits are playing in season 3. See you October 14th. I think the first one I'll put out is Cincinnati, I guess. That was the first one I did of this season. So, yeah, let's go in order of... So you can see me age throughout each video. Got 8 new videos coming out. One of them I haven't even filmed yet. I've filmed 7 of them, and I'm going to try to do Morgantown, West Virginia next week when I'm there. But I was looking up like things to do and see in Morgantown, and man, there's nothing. But I've done that. Hey, I made a video out of Peculiar, Missouri. I made a video out of Victorville, California. Okay, I can make a video anywhere. But it does help when there's like a lot of more stuff to see that you can Google and like plan to go see it. I know they got a dinosaur here. I know they got something 100 feet big here. I got no plan for Morgantown. I know they have a statue of Don Knotts. That's the only thing they have that they advertise as something to go do or see in Morgantown. If anyone lives in Morgantown, hit me up. If you know where there are any dinosaurs, or if you know where there are any place where they have a lot of one type of thing, so I can go around and do a compilation where I do the tongue thing, let me know. Well, yeah, so that's tourist October 14th. I go to a McDonald's in Chester, New York. It was the best McDonald's I've ever been to in my whole entire life. There was a group of like 12 elderly people sitting around this table, like a whole bunch of them. And I thought maybe they like this is like their like field trip they get from the nursing home or something. They get to go to McDonald's once a week or something. They were all pretty old and gray-haired, but they were all super chatty, and they were all talking and like laughing and having such a good time in McDonald's. They were all like best friends. The table was so lively, and there was so much laughter and boisterous talking. And so I was like, it doesn't really seem like a nursing home thing. These people seem pretty with it and having a great time. And I got my meal. I ate it with gusto. And then I left. And as I left, all of the old people left right after me. I guess they were only there for me. They all left right after me, and they all just got into their separate cars, or there was like couples. So a few people got into each car, and they drove away. They all had driven there. They're all just friends who like all went to McDonald's together. There was like 12 of them. It was this big group. I rarely go out with that many people. I bet a lot of you sure don't. If you're listening to this podcast, you're a fucking loser. And I know it, and I see it in your eyes. And you see it in your eyes when you look in the mirror every day. You're a loser. You didn't do what you wanted to do in this life. And you sure ain't going to McDonald's with 12 other people. But then I got to the hotel in Waverly, and my hotel, of course, for my show in Waverly, New York, is in Sayre, Pennsylvania. It's one of those towns that's right on the line. I go to my hotel in Sayre. It's the Best Western. The guy who booked the show, I asked him, "Hey, is the hotel included?" He goes, "Yeah, same one as last time." And then I go, "Okay, which one is that?" And then he didn't respond. He didn't respond for hours and hours and hours. And then I was just driving to Sayre. I just put Sayre, Pennsylvania in Google, and because I remember that the hotel I was staying at was there. And I didn't remember the name of Sayre, Pennsylvania. I looked at a map and looked at Waverly and scrolled down to the town underneath. I remember it was in the town underneath it. And he's just not responding to which hotel. So I'm like, okay, I guess I'm going to go to Sayre, Pennsylvania and just like look around Sayre, Pennsylvania and try to remember where my hotel was. And I got off the highway in Sayre, Pennsylvania, and it was a little familiar. This street looks kind of familiar. This is from a year ago. And I drive down the street a little bit, and I remember that the hotel was on kind of like an open-ish street with a big-ass parking lot in front. And I drove by, and I go, "Oh, it's the Best Western. Oh, yeah." And I go in, and that was it. I just found the hotel I was staying at just from remembering Sayre, Pennsylvania. Yep, that's it. Oh, yeah. The Best Western. They got the wettest eggs in town. If you're ever getting breakfast at the Best Western in Sayre, Pennsylvania, be prepared for some sopping wet eggs. And then I go to the show. I try to take a nap. I just took a red eye and then drove like 5 hours. And I'm drinking Red Bulls and coffee and Try to take a nap and it goes really bad. It's like one of those spooky naps where you wake up and you feel like you got molested. So I just have to go to the show, and I go to the show and remembering what last year was, packed crowd. This one much less packed. This one only had about 25 people at it. Still very fun, but this was on a Thursday, and that upcoming Monday, they were having a comedian, none other than Mick Foley of wrestling fame. Mick Foley was headlining this place on Monday after my Thursday show. So a lot of people in the town, you're not going to go to 2 comedy shows at the same place in a week. They were holding out for Mick Foley. And in addition to that, Nate Bargatze was in town playing in Rochester. These are the 2 reasons I was given why no one came to my show. Not the fact that my career is in the gutter. It's not because of that. It's because of Mick Foley and Nate Bargatze. And Lord knows, I'm going to blame them for everything. All of my career misgivings. Misgivings? But the show is pretty good. And there was a lot of, I said, how many people are here? Were here last time I was in town. And most people clapped. So that was cool. Repeat customers. Shout out to Kim and Steve, my friends, not Jen. Kim and Steve, big fans. They pretty much met. There's this couple, they came to see me in D.C., all the way from Corning, New York. And they came to my show last year. This couple, they just love me. They're probably listening to this. That's how much they definitely listen to my podcast. Shout out Kim and Steve, if that is your real names. They told me that they pretty much met through me. They were friends and they started sending each other my videos, and that's when they really bonded, I guess, or something like that. And look at them now. And they told me something else that was interesting too, and I don't know. Did I write it down? They said something else that was really interesting. I'll think of it and I'll put it on episode 45. Don't worry, Kim and Steve. Now, Kim and Steve are a couple of recipients of a limited edition product that I'm bringing to some shows. And I'm only giving it to my big fans. I'm giving it to Laserheads. So if you come to see me at my next shows, which are in Morgantown, in D.C., and in Narragansett, I have some magnets that are pretty sick. Shout out to Allie in Virginia Beach, who is my sticker person, my merch girl. And I know Allie listens to the podcast. Shout out Allie. Fireflies and Clothespins on Instagram. She does cool stickers. She does all my stickers. And I have a shit ton of new stickers. Allie, we fucked up. It's too many stickers. I'm realizing I have too many stickers, and people don't have tables big enough for my merch now. You should have told me that. This is your fault. The misgivings and transgressions of my career are your fault. But I have these. So if you come to see me, go, hey, made it to the Elk. First say, hey, made it to the Elk. And guess what? I have made it to the Elk sticker now. It's pretty sick. And I'll give you one of these magnets. I think I have, I don't know, maybe 20 of them or so. And I gave a couple to Kim and Steve, to the big fans. And one of the opening comic of the show, unrelated, very nice guy, very cool guy. He was like, man, and he loved American Vandal. So he was like, man, great to meet you. And I was like, hell yeah, dude. And he was like, man, I used to live in Texas, and I was trying to book you on the North Texas Comedy Festival. And he was telling me all about this interaction we had in like 2017 or 2018 on Instagram. And he's like, do you remember getting a message about this? And I'm like, absolutely not. I don't remember anything. And he said, man, I was trying to get you. There was a bunch of us working on the North Texas Comedy Festival, and you gave us your number, and then we told you it was for charity, and you said you gave us like a way lower number. It was so nice of you. I was like, wow, I did? That makes me sound really cool. I can't believe that. There is a chance you honestly might be thinking of someone else. You told me it was for charity, and I said, oh, in that case, what number did I give you? I gotta find this. Because I do have a tendency to ask for not a lot of money. Then sometimes I ask for money and people offer me way less. I go, oh, shit, yeah, well, now I'm embarrassed. But apparently I gave him a really low offer. And so this guy went back to his the other people that booked the show, and he was like, hey, Ryan O'Flanagan's willing to do this for this super low amount of money. What a nice guy. And then one of the other guys that didn't want me on the festival is basically what the story this guy told me. But then, yeah, this other guy, I showed him your tape, and he didn't agree. He wasn't feeling it, and so we didn't have you. But I just wanted you to know, man, I feel bad, and thank you for lowering your rate. That was really nice of you. But yeah, this one guy, he wouldn't let us have you. I was like, oh yeah, all right, yeah, hey, maybe next time. Pretty rowdy crowd, pretty chatty crowd. Most people were cool, though. Afterwards, I signed a girl's butt and boob. And not just any girl, but like the wife of a guy that works there. So it was no funny business. It was all in good fun. But I got to sign my first butt on her jeans. And I felt that. I was like, I don't want to ruin your jeans. I signed her butt in Sharpie on her jeans. That now she just has that on her butt. I was like, are you sure? Because this is your jeans. I'd rather sign your actual butt, and then I get to see a butt. I'm going to sniff it. But, she said, sign my jeans. And I said, what about just your real butt? She goes, no, you can't sign my real butt, you pervert, but you can't sign my boob. And so she busted out her boob, almost to the point where her nipple was out. And then I signed her boob, and it was a fake boob. And I pretty much got to touch it. So that was obviously the highlight of this whole trip. And afterward, that girl and her friends taught me how to play marbles. So this is like that meme. He's probably out cheating. No, maybe he's out playing marbles. People ask me all the time, you ever meet girls after your shows? You ever get lucky after your... No! You know what I do? I play marbles. I get blackout drunk and I play marbles and things such as this. Marbles, I always thought marbles was like shooting marbles, which is probably another marbles game. There's probably a few marbles games. The marbles game we were playing was like Mancala. It was like the Marvel, Marvel. That's the new movie we gotta write. Marvel's Marbles. It's kind of like Mancala. And it's just moving marbles throughout little divots in a piece of wood. It's kind of like a Mancala. And then, then afterwards, like the guys I really partied hard with last time just didn't really want to do it this time. They just like went home. I was like, oh man, I was really imagining this is gonna be like last year, like a wild super. It was also a Thursday night. It wasn't a different night of the week or anything. But fucking Mick Foley, everyone's all exhausted, getting ready for Mick Foley. He had already 95 tickets sold, with 3 days to go. I gotta text that guy and ask him how the show went. How'd Mick Foley do? I hope he fucking bombed. Hope he bombed through a table onto some thumbtacks. But so I just wanted to go to one more bar, so I went to this bar, the only bar in town that is open, called Sam's, and because I had heard that we went there last year. I didn't remember. But I was like, I want to see this bar that I apparently went to last year, and I walked in and I went, oh yeah, this place. I remember this place was cool. Big bar. Cash only. But I just walk in, it's all these dudes hanging out, and they're like pretty drunk. And I walk in, this guy goes, hey, new guy! And I went, oh, fuck. I should have just gone to the hotel. Should have gone to the Best Western in Sayre. Wettest eggs in town. He goes, hey, new guy, what's your name? And I was like, Ryan, man. It's Ryan. He said, we don't get a lot of new guys in here. Welcome, new guy. And everyone's going, hey, dude, chill out. And he's going, no, I'm talking to the new guy. I'm saying. He wasn't like a dick. He was just a moron. He's like, I'm just saying hi to the new guy. I'm saying hi to him. I was like, it's all good, man. I'm just going to watch the TV. And I just watched the TV. They were showing highlights of Rams Niners, crazy game. And then this woman comes in, and she sits down next to me, and then the guy goes, "Whoa! It's not a sausage fest anymore." And it's just this like woman, It's not anyone that you would ever say that about. It's just this woman. And she's like, "Yeah." And I look at her. I was like, "Yeah, they're crazy over there. Don't mind them, bunch of goofs. They said the same thing to me when I came in. They're yelling at the new people." And then I start talking to this woman, and she is telling me too much stuff. I don't know how we got on the topic, but man, she was telling me about her brother who accidentally hanged himself when he was 9. She has 2 other brothers. They also just died in freak accidents, and I'm just like, oh, I actually just came here just for one beer and just like to watch TV. But you know me, I'd be showing interest. Anyway, now I'm Facebook friends with this woman, so there's a chance she might hear this, see me post about it. Holy shit, dude! The Yankees are roaring back. The biggest addition to my life since my last episode was I have YouTube TV now. So I'm watching 2 games at once right now. YouTube TV positively rocks. Yankees have come all the way roaring back against the Blue Jays. That's pretty cool. I don't care for the team, but it'll be fun to watch when I stop recording this episode. It'll be something to do. Anyway, I meet this woman. Shout out to my new Facebook friend. I forget your name at this point. Oh, Deb. Yeah, Deb. It's cool to meet Deb, and she told me a lot. And I'm sorry about your brother, Deb. But anyway, as I was talking to Deb, the annoying guy, he played 2 songs. He played a Tyler Childers song, who's like my favorite artist, and I was like, oh, this is cool. He's playing a Tyler Childers song. Unfortunately, Deb is just like kind of talking to me about her brother who accidentally hanged himself. Not on purpose. He wouldn't do that on purpose. He was only a kid, is what she was saying. I'm like, yeah, I figured, yeah, I know. Not a lot of 9-year-olds just fucking ending it all. But, and then another song came on after that, and it was such a good song, and I wanted to Shazam it. But I didn't want to be rude, because Deb was just talking to me about all the deaths in her family, and all the things her family has been through. Just like her cursed family, and her grandma and her mom. And I really wanted to know what the song was, though. And so then I was like, so that a little while later, the song was done. And I had to pee so bad. She was talking, and I just had to pee so bad the whole time. And I was like, listen, I got to go pee. And I went to go to the bathroom, and then when I left the bathroom, I went over to the guy, the annoying guy, and I went, hey, man, was that you? Were you playing songs earlier? And he was like, yeah. And I was like, do you play that Tyler Childers song? And he was like, yeah. And I said, what was that song you played after Tyler? I loved it, but I didn't catch what it was. And he was like, I don't know. And I was like, what do you mean you played it? Yeah, I don't remember. I don't know what it was. I don't remember. You don't remember you just went and played 2 songs. One of them was Tyler Childers. The other one, what was that? I don't remember. I thought, God damn it, dude. We go over to it's a Touch Tunes. We go over to the Touch Tunes together, and this guy's fucking falling over drunk. And I'm just like, hey, man, look, help me. We have to find what song you played. We're pressing buttons, trying to find like recently played, and it's just not coming up. I'm like, man, you really don't remember. None of this is ringing a bell. Walking over to the jukebox and like playing a song. You don't remember what it was? It just played like 5 minutes ago. And you put it on. And you told me that you put it on. I don't know, man. I don't know. And so now, I left the bar, and now, to this day, I don't know what that song was. And I'll never know what that song was. Unless anyone works at Touch Tunes or anything, if you have a way to look up Sam's Bar in Sayre, Pennsylvania, and look up the songs played on October 2nd, I mean, there's got to be a way, technologically, to figure out what the song was. I really liked it. Anyway, the next day I wake up, and I have to drive. Now I have a show in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Ooh, another kind of show that I did a couple of years ago, or last year maybe, I don't know. Next in Line Comedy. We like Next in Line Comedy. Shout out Betty Smithsonian, who runs Next in Line Comedy. They were kind of doing shows all over Philly. It's just like a comedy kind of collective. And now they have their own club. And it's badass. So I have to drive from Waverly to Philly, staying at my friend Tony's house. Tony Two Homes. I'm staying at the second home of Tony Two Homes. On the way to Philly, I stop to get gas and maybe some food, and most importantly, a Red Bull. I'm really fading fast. It really doesn't matter if I take a red eye or if I get 8 hours of sleep. When I drive, I get tired. If I'm doing a 4-hour road trip, I'm gonna be by myself. I'm pretty much falling asleep the whole time. So I pull over, go to a gas station, get some gas. There's two options of places to eat. There is a Subway next to the gas station, and I just got Subway the day before in Sayre, Pennsylvania. In fact, there was a pregnant girl working at this Subway, which I think should not be allowed. I don't think that the fumes at Subway are safe. You can smell a Subway. When you walk by a Subway, a blind person goes, "That's a Subway." They have a very specific smell, and a smell that specific, I think, can't be good, fumes-wise. If it were a more common smell, it would probably be fine. That's mostly nitrogen-based, if it's a common smell. But Subway is such a distinct smell that it can't be safe. If it were safe, we would be smelling that smell more, wouldn't we? Something to think about. But I go to, so there's a Subway, and then there's a diner called the Pen Can, and that is attached to the gas station across the street, which is defunct. The gas station does not work, but the diner is still open. And I thought, how about you just had Subway yesterday? Let's go to the Pen Can restaurant. It doesn't look very good. It's like a truck stop roadside, pretty decrepit diner. But it'll have more. Yeah, let's go there. It'll be more memorable, if nothing else, eh? And maybe it'll be good. Anyway, I go in, and nothing on the menu really sounds good at all. I don't know. And they have a cheesesteak, but I'm like, I'm going to Philly tonight. I'm probably going to have a cheesesteak. Spoiler, I did not. But I just saw a bunch of like stuff I don't really want, and I decided to get just a roast beef sandwich. I'm imagining a roast beef sandwich, like when you get a nice roast beef, like a French dip with some hajouj. Some nice Pete Booty hajouj. That's what I was imagining. And this woman, after a long, long delay, I go, can I have the roast beef sandwich? And she goes, the hot beef? I was like, is that the same thing? Yeah, I want it hot. She goes, do you want gravy? Do you want fries? I said, yeah, okay. She goes, do you want gravy on the sandwich, or on the fries too, or just the sandwich? And I said, no gravy. Because on the menu it said, all of our sandwiches are smothered in our house-made gravy. And I don't like the sound of that at all. I don't want to make a mess. I don't like messy foods. I don't like wings. I don't like things that are smothered in gravy. I'm honestly not even the biggest taco guy. I don't like food that falls apart and makes a mess. I just don't like it. As little as possible. So I said, just no gravy. And she was flabbergasted, this woman. She said, no gravy? What do you mean no gravy? Yeah, no gravy. I'm fine without. I don't want gravy. Gravy is for like mashed potatoes. on Thanksgiving Day and maybe on Christmas and then never any other time. Biscuits maybe if you go to a Cracker Barrel, but I don't want gravy on my sandwich. Gravy? You don't put gravy between pieces of bread, in my mind. Gravy has to top a meat or a biscuit or something like that, but not on top of the meat on a sandwich with in between bread. She said, "How about some gravy on the side?" I go, "Great. If you're really pushing this house-made gravy, maybe it's okay gravy. Sure, give me some gravy on the side." It takes no less than 30 minutes to bring out 2 slices of Wonder Bread with just these hunks of gray beef. And I'll give it to him. It was hot beef. I guess in my mind, I imagined it would be a little bit different than that. Maybe add something to it, some onions, some fennel. I don't know. It was just these chunks of hot gray beef in between the 2 most pathetic pieces of white bread. And I took a picture and go to my Instagram at Ryan O'Flan and check it out when I post this episode. You gotta see this beef. It was disgusting. And you know what? It was so disgusting looking, I had to put gravy on it. I needed to hide it somehow. It was in the top 5 worst sandwiches I've ever had. But I'm not going to write like a Yelp review about the pen can or anything. I'm just going to talk about them on my podcast. But what is a pen can? I didn't get if there's like a word play there that I'm missing. The pen can. And the place wasn't like shaped like a can or anything. That would have been okay. If it was like the pen cap, okay, that's something that I've heard of. But a pen can, maybe because the food is like a goddamn toilet. In my eyes. Flies this which way, that which way. But then I do the show in Philly. First of all, I meet up with Tony Two Homes. We get some drinks before the show. I was pretty loose by the time this show started. I was 4. Then I met this really cool guy. I met the coolest guy. Shout out to the guy I met. I forgot your name, dude. But this guy bought me a drink. Very tall guy bought me a drink before the show. I was going to the bar with a drink ticket. He goes, "Can I buy you a drink, man? I'm a big fan." I was like, "Oh, I have a drink ticket. Don't waste your money. But he was like, "But I would rather buy you a drink." And I was like, "Oh, okay, buy me a drink." And he bought me a drink. And then after the show, he came up and he bought some koozies. He came with his girlfriend and he bought some merch. And he gave me $100 bill. And he goes, "I don't want any change." I was like, "Dude, I'm not taking $100. My set was drunk." He goes, "No, man." And his girlfriend chimes in. She goes, "No, he loves you. You've given him so many laughs." I was like, "Damn, okay. What a nice guy." And then, brother, I saw you at the bar afterwards, and I wanted to say hi, but then I was distracted. I get stuck in conversations. I have no idea how to make my way around. The show is good, though. You know who else came? Shout out to my fantasy football league. I'm in this fantasy football league with all these women, as you know. All these women in their 60s, and they're beating my ass. I'm in like 6th place. What the fuck? One of the women, her daughter lives in Philly and came to the show. Shout out Casey. And then we hung out. Go to a bar next door, and fella, I saw you at the bar next door. One of the tallest guys, certainly the tallest guy I met on this trip. So a lot of cool people in Philly. Casey and her friends. What excitement hanging out. Very tall, cool guy. I highly recommend Next in Line Comedy in Philly. They have their own club, and this club rocks. It can seat like 80 or 90 people, I think. But it's just a really cool, it's like this upstairs stone, cool corner stage, nice cool neon light, and the crowd was very forgiving. So I think the beer that I was drinking during my set was like my 5th beer of the night already. So my set was a little sloppy, but it was like A really fun crowd that was just like cool with it being sloppy. Sometimes you feel kind of like judged, Pete Buttigieg judged. But it was just a fun ass Friday night crowd, and yeah, just Philly's just like a cool, like smart, like young kind of, just a hip kind of comedy scene. From the few times I've performed there, people just seem kind of, a lot of the Northeast places, people are just like kind of, people are just more with it. They seem like just like smarter people, for better and for worse. You can't trick them. You can't trick them with a shitty hacky joke. They're like, nope, we know what you're doing, bitch. But the show went really well. Got proper drunk, and then the next day had to drive to the wedding. Tom's wedding was in Long Island. So I had to drive from Philly to Long Island. The wedding was at 2:30 p.m. I wake up hungover as all Christ God hell. And when I had looked on Google Maps a couple days prior, it said it was about a 2-hour drive. So I'm leaving at 11 a.m. It's about a 2-hour drive. I'm going to try to go there to Long Island, try to check into my hotel early if I can, change into my suit real quick. I already have my tie all tied, ready to go. Ready. I'm very prepared. So I go to my car and I look at Google Maps. It is a 3.5-hour drive to the wedding venue, which would get me there at exactly 2:30 when the wedding starts. And I'm just wearing an undershirt, shorts. I thought I was going to have a lot more time. I was going to have time to stop and get some food. You know I'm going to get McDonald's. I can't stop eating McDonald's. I had McDonald's probably 4 or 5 times on this trip. But now I'm going to get there at exactly 2:30. I thought, Jesus, God, fuck. I have to change into my suit. Now, I parked in a little overnight parking lot for $35. And I'm outside of my car now, just rushed, panicked, changing into my fucking wedding suit to go then drive 3.5 hours so that when I arrive, I'm already in my suit and I'm not changing into my suit in the parking lot of the Greek Orthodox Church. So I do that and I just haul ass, and the time of arrival, the whole time I'm getting there, it started off at 2:30 and it got as early as 2:20, but that's as early as I could get it. The whole time I'm driving, I thought, please, maybe there's a traffic jam and it'll clear up, and then get those nice little moments. Boom, it just poof. Suddenly the time of arrival is like 20 minutes quicker. Oh, yes. That never happened. It was a true 3.5-hour drive. I could not stop and get anything to eat. And I'm hung the fuck over. I'm on very little sleep. I'm driving. I get to this church. It's a Greek church. I did not even know that Angela was Greek. I guess I saw her last name and just, I don't know. I never thought about it. But yeah, it's a very Greek last name. But I didn't know it was going to be a Greek wedding. I show up to the church at about 2:26. I fucking stumble into this church. Don't do it! I get there in the nick of time. The wedding doesn't start till 50 minutes later. Tom isn't even at the church. Tom is still at home with his fucking groomsmen just hanging out. Classic Tom. Latest man you'll ever meet in your life. But the wedding, the ceremony was a Greek ceremony. I didn't realize that was going to happen. Greek ceremonies, wow. Verbose. Verbose, very sing-songy. They do some silly things. They made them both wear these little crowns. And they're these little thin crowns with like a thread coming out from the back of the crown that is like tied together so that they can exchange thoughts. And then like best man has to like hold up the thread like it's a ponytail, and they walk around in a circle. They walk around a table to consecrate the table or something. Um, Pretty silly stuff, but a lovely ceremony. And funny, yeah, funny. They were making me laugh essentially. And afterwards, we went to. I got to go back to finally check into my hotel, put all my stuff in my hotel. Then we go to the reception, and the reception. Now this is what people talk about when they talk about how crazy a Greek wedding is. This is my first Greek wedding, and let me tell you, every wedding needs to be a Greek wedding. It was so cool. Every wedding you've been to sucks if it wasn't a Greek wedding. That's not true. I've been to some good weddings, but nothing like a Greek wedding. Because I certainly had never been to a wedding where they just make it rain all night. I did not know, and I was pretty shocked. People were like they were doing this Greek dance where they go around in a circle. They hold hands and go around in a circle, and it seems like pretty easy stuff. You pretty much just hold your hands and go around in a circle, and everyone's invited. And the circle, of course, gets so big where it can't be a circle anymore. So it's essentially becomes kind of like a few different spirals, kind of. And everyone's holding hands. I was holding hands with a woman who did not want to hold my hand. It seemed she seemed scared of me. She seemed scared that I reached out to try to hold her hand, but I felt weird not holding her hand. I thought it would be rude to not hold her hand. So I said, "Hold my hand, bitch." And her hand was squirming in mine the entire time we were gallivanting around. And the bride's father and his brother the whole time and the whole night had these wads of like hundreds of dollars. I don't know. I assume they brought all of these ones. They had like thousands of dollars in ones. Maybe not thousands, certainly hundreds. And they were just making it, throwing money up in the air on everybody. It was just raining dollar bills the whole night. And we were just dancing around, doing Greek dances. Tom did tell me that I was the best white Greek dancer. Thank you, Tom. He probably tells that to every girl. But, and the Greek dancing is such a blast. It's so much more fun than white dancing. It's just like a bouncy, fun time. I kept telling people that it's basically you kind of, because I was watching the old guys do it, and they do a little. It's almost like a slow jig. They kind of like kick their feet up sometimes, and it's mostly putting your arms straight out and then like rotating them, and kind of doing like a little jig. I was joking that I was pretty much just doing Cotton Eye Joe, but in a slower, wavier motion. It's like, because it's a lot of spinning and jigging your legs. Jigging. I don't know if you can say that these days. But, gosh, what a good time. Opulent, extravagant wedding. They had a whole room that was... I was excited for the dessert. And I got steak, and it was a very good steak. But I was very excited for the dessert. I love dessert. I love... almost all kinds of dessert, but I mostly like chocolate, and people aren't really. Chocolate's not like a fancy. It's never like a classy dessert. Chocolate, like a chocolate cake, you would find it like a boy's birthday party. But if you're getting like a nice dessert, it's usually like something beige, something light beige and with some white on it. Those are kind of fancy dessert colors. But I see this, so it's dessert time. There's dancing, there's music. Then someone at my table, and I was sitting at the Boston College table, which was awesome. I was hanging out with friends from college that I have not seen since college. And God, it was such a fun time. We all got along so great, and they're still great. They haven't changed at all, just the coolest. Man, it was fun. It was a very fun time at the BC table. I was happy to be at the BC table. And I didn't know who was going to be there till I really went to the wedding. I didn't know. Everyone that was there, I go, "Oh, hey, yes, I didn't know if you're getting invited." I don't know who Tom talks to. Because he talks to everybody. He honestly doesn't stop talking. He's actually super annoying. But someone from my table brings back a plate of dessert, and I thought, whoa, what the hell? Where'd you get that dessert? I thought they were going to bring us dessert. And she goes, you haven't been to the dessert room? And I thought, there's a dessert room? She goes, oh, you got to see the dessert room. It'll blow your mind. I thought, what the hell does that mean? And then I went to the dessert room, and it blew my mind. This was swear to God, a dream I've had since I was a youth. A whole room where there's a big table that you walk all the way around the table. It's 4 tables, essentially, in a square, and with servers in the middle. And it's self-serve, and it's just these 4 sides of tables that's just all various desserts. And they have every dessert you want, including many, many different types of chocolate, which is pretty much all I got. I got a few other things just to say that I didn't get all chocolate, because I was kind of embarrassed walking around with all this. But I got chocolate cake, I got brownie, I got this chocolate candy thing. Chocolate this, chocolate that. I'm like that character from All That Keenan character that just loves chocolate. And if you put a dollop of chocolate on the cake and she'll go, a dollop! A dollop! She would go fume, smoke coming out of her ears. A dollop! Classic Keenan Thompson character. But you walk around the table and you can just get any dessert. I swear to God, I've had I have a recurring dream. The dreams that I have of like opulence or like something really good and grand happening, I have recurring dreams where I'm moving into a huge place. So maybe that's a subconscious thing. I don't need a huge place at all, but in my dream I'm like, holy shit, I just got like this big apartment for like really cheap. And it's like this huge apartment with big rooms and like a pool. I guess that is like kind of a dream of mine. It's to live in like a big place where like with like a bunch of or at least a few rooms, definitely a pool, but like a basement, just some extra rooms to have just little rooms. You know, a guest room, a podcast room. Folks, when I get a place with a bunch of rooms, I'm doing a podcast room, and this podcast will have video with it. I promise you that. And I have that recurring dream, and I have also a recurring dream where I'm just like in a place where there is just a shit ton of Panthers merch. That's just always been a dream since I was a kid. And that is a real place. You go to the Panthers team store in the Panthers stadium. That's just a store with all Panthers stuff. And it's kind of cool. It was really cool the first time I went there in 7th grade, I believe it was. Or no, it was ninth grade. No, 7th grade. No, 9th grade. 7th grade I went to training camp. But 9th grade I went to my first home Panthers game and got to go to the team store. And when God, a kid who loves just Panthers merch and just the logo on everything, you walk in, it's just a fucking wonderland. Everything has the Panthers logo on it. It's everything. And to this day, I have dreams like that. I'll be in a store and then I'll find a section that's just like, holy shit, they have like a whole Panthers section over here. And I'm just like buying Panthers stuff. That's a recurring dream that I have. And dreams where it's just a whole bunch of chocolate. I have had that very dream before. So I guess I must have gone to bed hungry. But man, you walk around and I pretty much got just all chocolate. And then I went back to my table and I was eating all this chocolate and I was like, this is too much chocolate. The dream isn't really, it's not what you really dream of. It is just like, man, this is actually disgusting. I am eating so much dessert right now. When you have that much, you can have so much dessert. When I was a kid, you could have, dessert, you'll have one piece of cake. You want more cake? You can go fucking kill yourself. But when you have dessert, when you're at Thanksgiving or Christmas, what do you have? You might have like a piece of cake. Maybe if you're feeling crazy, you'll have like 2 things. Maybe I'll have a piece of pie. Oh, you want another piece of pie? Yeah, you know what? Fuck it. I'll have another piece of pie. Maybe you'll do 2. But I got a plate of just like 6 desserts, and I'm like, man, this is like, I'm eating just like a lot of dessert. This isn't. I shouldn't be doing this. No one should be doing this. Then dance, fun time. And then I went back to hung out till like 3 in the morning. They just had all these things. It just never. Tom sang a song that he and his friends wrote until 4 in the morning, or they learned till 4 in the morning. Led Zeppelin song, 'cause it was his parents' anniversary, so they learned it so that Tom could sing it to his parents. His friends like playing a band, so they learned it. I mean, there was cigars. There was free cigars you could have. I took home the the lap napkin from my table. It's the nicest napkin I've ever seen in my life. I took it home. It'll eat a baby whole. That was my impression of my grandma finding out that my sister had just become the owner of a pit bull. You can't have a pit bull. They'll swallow a baby whole. I saw it on the news. Shout out Grandma O. I stayed at the Days Inn. I stayed at the cheapest hotel in town, and it was the Days Inn. And honestly, it was the greatest sleep I had gotten in days. And I woke up and I just had a day, Sunday, just to hang out and watch football. And I hit up all my New York friends to come watch football somewhere in Brooklyn, and all of them, mysteriously, conveniently, were out of town. So I went and watched football by myself. Tom was too fucking hungover. So I went to a bar by my damn self. And then went to Tom's after and hung out with Tom all night. Watched Sunday Night Football. Watched and yet another Survivor entry eat the dust with the Pats beating the Bills. I cannot, for the life of my ass, survive in a Survivor League. I can't do it. I'm wrong and stupid every time. But then I simply went home the next day on Monday. And when I landed, I'll wrap up this podcast episode with one funny joke that I heard. When I came home from the wedding on Monday, got home at about 5 p.m., watched some Monday Night Football. Then I unpacked and things like this. And then I went off to Ralph's, the grocery store. And I'm in Ralph's. And if Ralph's is a good time right now. Ralph's during Halloween season is a good time. They have all the characters out. They got a guy who's like a ghost, like bartender guy, and he does bartender puns. That's like a robot, not a real guy. They have a robot that does that. But if they want a real guy to do that, I am unemployed. And there's worse jobs. Lord knows there's Landmark Theater. But I went to Ralph's, and I'm walking around Ralph's, and they twice they make this announcement. They go, "Excuse me, customers. I was just informed by a customer that the moon outside is a full moon, and it's very close to the ground. So, you know what else is very close to the ground is your shopping cart, and we hope that it is full. There are deals in every aisle. Thank you for shopping at Ralph's, and we hope to see you during the week." I didn't realize that I had memorized it until now. But he did it again twice. He did it a second time. Not very long after. 5 minutes later. "Attention customers. I have just been informed by a customer that the moon outside is a full moon and is very close to the ground. Just like your shopping cart is very close to the ground, and we hope that it is full. We got deals in every aisle. Thank you for shopping at Ralph's. And we hope to see you during the week," which was kind of a weird way to end it. This is a Monday night. We hope to see you during the week. I'm going to start saying that to people. All right, man. I'm getting out of here. Hope to see you during the week. Hey, man, are you local? All right, I'd love to see you during the week. So then I get up and I'm checking out, and the guy bagging the groceries is this guy he's there all the time. If you ever go to Rock and Roll Ralph's, hey guys, if you've ever been to Rock and Roll Ralph's, and I know a lot of the laser heads are big Rock and Roll Ralph's heads, get the lid out. You know the old guy that works there is like an old bald guy, and he just kind of looks like a fucking villain, kind of like a Disney villain. Just like an old pervert. Looks like an old mouse pervert. Looks like an old perverted mouse. Got turned into a man. And but he's there all the time. He's a nice enough guy. But he was bagging the groceries, and this Asian woman, Chinese, if you can believe it, was at the register behind me, and she said, "It's a Chinese, it's a Chinese moon holiday." She says this to the rat man, who's with me. I don't know why she's talking to him. She goes, "It's a Chinese moon holiday. That's why the moon is so low. That's why the moon is so big." And I'm thinking, I mean, that's not why the moon is low and big. You idiot. The moon is low and big because of where the moon is and where the earth is. But I see what she's saying. It's a Chinese moon holiday. And the guy's going, "Okay, oh, is that why?" Then I said to him, "Were you the one making that announcement?" He goes, "Yeah, that was me." Oh, okay. I did enjoy the announcement. I was like smiling, and I'm glad that's a fun little announcement to make. Doing little jokes over the loudspeaker. Why the hell not? Give some life into this Ralph's. But then the woman says to him, "Yeah, it's a Chinese moon holiday. I was looking for a moon cake. I was looking for a moon," and she has like a. I'm not doing it to the nth degree, of course. But she does have a thick Chinese accent, and she's going, "I was trying to get a moon cake, but they didn't have any moon cake, so I just got this cheesecake." And she has this round white cheesecake. And guess what this man says to her? "Well, you might want to orient yourself over to the bakery." And it got completely silent. No one was really looking at him. He continued to bag my groceries. And I was just like, "Oh, man." And he said, that was supposed to be a pun, but no one laughed. No, he goes, "Oh, that was a pun, but no one got it." And I said, "I got it. I just don't know if you can say that." And he said, "Well, every day's a full moon in this place, if you know what I mean." I thought, man, I got to apply to be one of those robots making spooky drinks, because they have fun at rock and roll, and that's what makes it Rock and Roll Ralph's, man. That's punk rock. When you're making jokes about the Orient to a Chinese woman who is speaking like with a thick Chinese accent. Well, you might want to orient yourself. Oh, man, do you not know that you're not supposed to say that? Because, I don't know. There are still, you drive by places just called Oriental Rugs. And you go, "Is Oriental okay?" But that specific incidents, the joke fell a little flat. In his defense, truly, I don't think anyone heard him but me. And I didn't laugh. I I was shocked. But I thought that you guys might enjoy that joke about I'm going to call this episode The Orient. No, I won't. I can't do that. Man, that would be a really funny name for this episode, though, huh? The Orient. I'll think about it. I'll think about what I'll name it. This was episode 44. And I hope you guys enjoyed it. Thanks for listening. Thank you. No new sponsors. Y'all go. No, new sponsor is that guy that gave me $100 in Philly. Fuck yeah, dude. And thanks. And he bought me a beer when I had a drink ticket. And you know what? I never even used the drink ticket. I found it in my wallet. Fucking yesterday. But anyway, thanks, dude. You're my new sponsor. I forget your name. But thank you to everybody listening. Let me know if you made it to the Elk. Comment on my Instagram, made it to the Elk. I will give you one free like. Come see me at my upcoming shows, Morgantown, West Virginia, Washington, D.C., and Narragansett, Rhode Island. I'm doing a Monday show in front of my entire family. So please come out and laugh, and don't let me bomb. Last time I performed for my family, I fucking bombed at a casino at 6 p.m. Please come out. I know it's a Monday night, but who cares? You're a fucking loser. If you're listening to this podcast, you're a loser. This was episode 44. I'm also going to be in Wisconsin in April, so get ready for that. If anyone wants to book me on any shows around Pittsburgh area or Milwaukee area in the spring, those are the two places I'm going. This episode has once again gone very, very long, but I love you, and I'll do another episode when I get back from this next trip, so at the end of October probably. Let me know what you're going to be for Halloween. Pump up the volume and dance.
Pump up the volume, pump up the volume, pump up the volume, dance, dance. Frío, frío, ya. Frío, frío, ya.